Hey guys, Unk here with a new review. Today I have a new ceiling fan. This is a 60-inch 3-blade ceiling fan. Really good looking, and it comes with a lot of things. We have 3 different down rods, so depending on how your ceiling is, we've got the correct down rod for it. We have the light kit, of course, LEDs, and a glass dome. We have the remote control with the controller for the light and the fan. Of course, fan motor, and the ceiling bell and the motor cover. So let me bring you in closer, take a closer look at this, and then let's go ahead and install it in my living room. All right, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the fan here. So again, this is the 3-blade fan, and it comes with the 3 down pipes. So each pipe will give you a different drop. So this is a 5-inch. This is almost 10 inches. And this last one is almost 15 inches long. So depends how high your ceilings is, which down pipe you can use. So one really nice thing is it comes with 2 different remotes. So this one is like a wall mounted one, but it still comes off. And then this one you can keep on your sofa or something at arm's reach. So that's really nice. So this is the controller for the light and the fan. And of course, we have the ceiling bell. So this one will cover this part here of it. And then we have this other one here, which will go on top of the motor to cover the motor. And of course, we have the all wood fan blades. Very nice machining work on them. They look really nice. Okay. And last, we have the light kit. So all LEDs, simple plug here. And then the dome for it, it is glass. All right, so next step is going to be the installation of the fan. And let's go ahead and do that next. First thing I want to do is I want to show you how to replace the downpipe if you decide that you need a longer one. So it's pretty simple. First, we're going to remove that. Then we've got 2 screws here on the side that we're going to back out. Now we're going to assemble the motor part. First, we're going to put the downpipe on first. So if you see this little screw here, that has to go facing to the top. Okay, so I'm going to run the wires this way. Now we have to align the opening on the pipe with the opening here on the motor. So the motor has 2 screws here. What these screws do is they tighten and they keep this downpipe from moving around. So we want to tighten it a little bit, but not too much. You don't want to crush the pipe or anything. It doesn't need to be that tight. So now we're going to install the bells. So we're going to drop this one first. Okay, that's going to go to the bottom. Now we have to put this one on because this one here is the one that covers these openings when it's all installed. Now we're mounting this one. So now that we are done with all that, then we can reinstall this piece. All right, so now we are ready to mount this in the ceiling. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So before we get mounting, I want to show you something. So this is the ceiling bracket. This is what goes bolted up to the ceiling. So if you notice, there's a little keyway here and a matching one on here. These 2 have to align. When you get this up on the ceiling, you have to twist this around until it drops into that spot. That is there for, so when the fan starts spinning the blades, so this doesn't spin, so that locks it in place, okay? Another thing you have to do is these 2 metal screws here, you have to pull out some because this then clips onto there, and this what holds the bell onto the ceiling part. Okay, so you got to do that first, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and start mounting it now. So the first thing we have to do is we have to put on the ceiling mount. And now I'm going to use my driver here. Now we're going to mount the motor. So that is already locked in place. So this won't be twisting when the blades start. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the controller. So this is the fan controller. So we have these ground wires, which are the green ones. All these green ones have to go together. So we've got 3 of them. All right, so let's do the next. So the next one will be the black wire. So very simple, black to black, white to white. All right, we'll put that cap on there, and that part is done. All right, so now I'm going to grab the fan blades and we'll start installing the fan blades. Okay, now we are going to install the fan blades. Right, so the fan blades, you need two things. You need the screws, and they also came with these crescent moon like washers. The blades have a sticker here on it, so that side there faces up. Okay, for the time being, I'm not going to tighten these. Just put them there to hold the blades. Then once I have all the blades in place, then I will go back and tighten them a little more. Now I'll go ahead and snug them up. All right, so now to install the light kit. So I've got those little screws out. Now I have to plug in the light. So the light goes plugged in only one way, so you can't confuse that. Okay, so once you have the first one, the other two are fairly easy because it should already be more or less aligned. Now we can put this on. There we go. So the remote has got the fan button where you hit any of the fan speed and the fan turns on. If you hit the fan button at the top, it just stops it. So we have the three color options. We have the yellow light, we have the white light, and we have a blue light. And of course, there's also a dimmer there if you want to dim the light some. All right, and of course the timer. Let me show you the two remotes that come with the fan. Okay, so we have this one here, which again, AAA batteries in the back, and that's its mount there, so that will go right on the wall. And the buttons here is the light button, the off and on, of course, to dim it, you use these. And this one here is to change the color temperature of the light. So you can do that yellow, white, and blue with this button here. This is to reverse the rotation of the blades. This button down here is something unique. This is what they call natural wind. What that does is it turns the fan on, it does a couple of rotations, and then it stops. Then it turns on again, and a couple of rotations, and it stops. This button here is to quiet the beep. So whenever you hit the button, the remote beeps. That's to quiet down. And of course, the timer. Okay. This remote is very similar. Here, you turn off the fan. To turn on the fan, you hit any of these buttons here. If you want to reverse the rotation of the blades, you'll hit that center one. And this button up here is that natural wind again. So again, when you hit that button, the blades will, or the fan will rotate a couple of times, stop, and then do it again. So you don't get that constant air, you get more of a natural wind. Here is the off and on for the lights, and of course the dimmers for the lights. Here you can select the color of the light you want, yellowish to white or the blue, and of course the built-in timer. And this one also uses AAA batteries with a different type of little wall mount. Okay, so that does it with this review. I hope that helps. Till next time.